Hi guys, Dandelion. Hi guys, Dandelion Song here. I had a request for this word. Thanks for your request. Thanks for your comments. This word, let's take a look at it. So I think I spelt it right. It would be good to know which, I think this is a Romance language word. Like I would like to be able to expand my abilities more into the etymology. I have like giant etymology books here in my room, but so far I've discovered they're whitewashed. There's a way to get around the whitewashing in your etymology books. What the main way is, if you scroll now it's a book, so it doesn't scroll, but if you look farther down in the associations of the word that you're looking in, farther down to where you think that it doesn't even matter anymore, or you read the things that don't matter or that are just barely associated with your word, sometimes there's a clue in there, and then it will be another word that's barely related. Now if you look up that word, then you can get back to something that's more truthful about the word that you originally looked up. Basically, sometimes they just don't put it right in the first entry, but it'll be farther down, maybe in a second entry. I also found this with etymology online. I looked up, when I first looked up Buckingham Palace, on the etymology website that has that griffin on it. It was weird because I think that they have different statuses of different people, and that was my first word that I ever looked up. So right away it showed, and I screenshot it, and it showed that Bucking means buka, which is the mouth of the gremlin, which reminded me of the J.K. Rowling's depiction of the city-state of London being run by goblins. Oh, did I say gremlins? Goblins. And then ham meant a edible slave. And then also Buckingham meant the place. It literally said this, and I have it screenshot. I don't know where it is now. It literally said the place where they worship the goblin at the turn of the river. And right underneath Buckingham Palace goes the River Tyburn, T-Y-B-U-R-N. Couldn't believe it. So anyway, I screenshot all of that, and I did a blog on it on my blog, or one of my early posts. Well, then I went back later and it was gone. So either it might still be there for another person. Maybe you should look for it. If you just don't do a blog post or a video on it, you probably won't have your status changed. But I'm curious if it's there, or if they just removed it for everybody, or if actually I'm on a different search status now that just somehow goes across these websites. Like, what if the website, you know, is a Freemason-based website, and then you are basically like, you know, like when you go to the airport, you're on a certain list. So then no matter what website you go to, you're going to be flagged to be able to see certain content or not see certain content. So I'm curious about that. All right. Gosh. So let's see this word. Now, the simple gematria is on the bottom. So the V, just the V by itself. If you're kind of new to, if you're new to my video, I think I've only done, a long time ago I did videos about L is for the Way You Look at Me, that song by Nat King Cole, and it has the word V in it. And so I did a decode just on the letter V, and I would like to do decodes on every letter. Actually, this reminds me, I never got around to that. Well, V by itself has 144, the elect, coded into it, and I discovered this from studying the code in ancient jewelry. So it has 144 in the, let me draw it. This is a sideways V. So this is a 14.4 angle right here, and this is a 14.4 angle there. And usually they draw it in mirror. So it also equals 22, which is the ham. So they are associating the ham with the elect. I don't fully understand that. Well, these two letters together equal 27, and it's also a 9 and a 27 simultaneously. That's a Jesuit birthday. I'm wondering if this is an Italian or, you know, a Romance-based word. well, anyway, so if you add, oh, end is another word that we should pay attention to, because this is 23. See, now the interesting thing, do you see the 5 and the 18? This is a 23. The interesting thing about end is, like, say on the movie Friends, where they showed the night sky of New York, and they had the Twin Towers, and the Twin Towers were right behind the word end in Friends. And of course that happened on 9/11, which is the equivalent of 9/23. There's probably a 9 in the other words, you know. F and, okay, hold on. So, oh yeah, there's the 9 right there for the I. All right, that's a 23. Well, anyway, if you add this together, it's a 45, and that's another 9. See? Plus this is a 9. Jesuit. Yeah, we'll get to this. This is the menorah gematria up here. Over here, I'm trying to look more and more of these. I'm trying to look at these numbers side by side before I summarize them, to just make sure I'm not missing anything. So both of these T's are 20. So it would be a 520, 520, 20, and then a 1. So anyway, if you do add this up, it's 46, and I think of this 46 number now as a chromosome, a doubling of the chromosomes, or a conception number. And maybe if we looked at the etymology here, we would be able to confirm that. All right. My phone's ringing, that's why I'm pausing. You probably can't hear it though. Okay, in the menorah gematria, these are the numbers. Let me show you the code of the menorah gematria again. I would like to, I had this idea yesterday, and I don't know if you guys would like this, where on my blog or someplace I could put a collection of photographs of all these words, and then they would be almost like cute. What are those, like cute, when you're trying to memorize something? Ew. I can't remember the name of the word. Cue cards. And then you could just order a stack of them if you wanted to for yourself, in case you felt like it. I don't know. Would you like that? Just at cost for yourself. I can't do any shipping. I'm not organized enough. All right. Well, so here, the V and the E is a 55. So this is alarm. I just did a lot of research about this word in the last 2 days. I haven't brought it to you. You might be amazed, since I do so many videos for you. Really, it's only like 30% of what I do each day. I'll try to summarize my 55 research and bring that to you. So what I did here, the reason why it's an 11 is because I took the center. This is over here, this is a valence code. On this whole side is a 15. And then on this whole side is a 20. So that equals 35, and this is the I, the UN number, the all-seeing I, or the I cosmology of our world. But if you take the valence code here, where you just take the center of the word, then you have a 911 and a 915. Now this adds up to 20, and often we see this 20 in places where it doesn't seem like it makes a lot of sense. And so now when we see a 20 in places, we need to realize that this might be another way for coding a 911. 915 was supposed to be the end of Jade Helm, and a lot of people are saying that it wasn't the end. Guess we'll have to wait and see. But if you add this is a 24, which is this is a number. I'm still acclimating the clue about 24. This is 24 days. I mean hours in a day, and I'm still working on what this precisely means. I have to look at all the words that have 24 in it. But in the menorah gematria, for example, in the book Pi in the Alphabet by Marty Leeds, he goes over his idea about the 24 is that menorah gematria with the 23 is usually words that are about divinity, and 24 is usually about earth words. So this would be an earth word, of course, or at least I guess detta would be an earth word. Okay, so altogether here, this equals 91. This number really have to finish the whole thing, because this is a very important number, but most of the information is on Wikipedia. So I'm going to try to couple a Wikipedia video onto this one to go more over this 91. So, all right, well, thank you for your request, and I appreciate your comments. Thank you. Talk to you later. Hi, guys. So just to take another look at the number 91, or a more in-depth look. It is important to know that this is the 27th prime, and it is a distinct 27th distinct semi-prime and the second of the form of this form. I'm not a math major. I was a math minor, and I didn't learn any of this. There are a few more interesting things. This is a hexagonal number, and it is a centered hexagonal number. So since hexagons are very important in our culture, that's probably important to know. I also think it's the smallest positive integer expressible as the sum of two cubes. One of the sums has a negative cube in it. That is probably symbolically important, but I would really take this one home. The decimal equivalent of the fraction 1 over 91 can be obtained by using the powers of 9. So this makes this kind of like a magical 9 number. It's the smallest positive integer expressible as a sum of 6 distinct squares. 6 is very important, especially when it's coupled with 9s. And we've even seen a lot of numbers with 916s. I think that is a dimension of the number that we really can only understand if we understand the importance of 91, which we are working on right now. It says here it's the smallest pseudoprime. Okay, I'm going to skip the pseudoprimes, but I thought this was important. It's a rep digit. 91 is a rep digit in base 9. So rep digit is a digit that repeats itself. So in base 9, of course, this would be a 111, and we know that they like this number. I do think that this is meant to be a good number and has just been kind of hijacked by the dark. This is also, these functions are also important. This is M91 is a spiral galaxy in the constellation Coma Berenices, which is basically based on a real person. Queen Bernice, the second of Egypt, she promised Aphrodite that she would sacrifice her hair if her newlywed husband returned safely in the year 243 during the Third Syrian War, and that happened. So she cut off her hair and placed it in the goddess's temple, and according to the story, it disappeared the next day. So here it is in the sky. I've done a little mapping of this. So Virgo is down here. At first, I thought this looked a lot like Orion, but this is Arcturus. And I don't recognize any of the names here, even when I zoomed in of the stars. So I'm not sure if they still have the same names, but I don't know a lot about stars. Here it is in the main. Oh, I wanted to show you because it was, did I show you up here? Let me find it. It's really pretty. Here it is. I just think it's pretty, so that will help me remember about what 90 is, and especially, it's weird that it looks kind of like hair. So 91 is a hexagonal number. We know that the hexagon is extremely important. I wanted to bring you, there's a place called Giant's Way that I want to find on Google Earth and bring that to you. I have a lot of videos that I'm interested to bring you. And this also shows up in honeycombs. A lot of people are worried about hexagons. I guess in the European Union show that they did recently, they had blue hexagonal people dancing and a lot of other strange imagery that scared a lot of people. And then I decoded the number hexagon. So that's in my lineup. You can search for that. So these are other hexagonal numbers. So it's the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th hexagonal number, 6 being 1 as well. So we can see from our studies that you've studied with me so far that these are all pretty active numbers. So before we get through this, we're probably going to be experts in, you know, number words and number concepts. Okay, well, maybe not experts. These are centered hexagonal numbers, and it has 37 in it, and I've talked a lot about 37. This is the raw number, so this is kind of like when we study these things, it's kind of like learning the shorthand for what numbers they think are really important. I don't see the 73 here, though, so I think 37 and 73 are star matrix numbers, but it doesn't look like the 73 is a centered hexagonal number. But there aren't that many of them. Alright, that's probably more than you want to know about the number 91, but this is another important association, this Psalm 91, the Psalm of Protection. Alright, so here is Psalm 91. We're on the Complete Jewish Bible website. It's www.chabad.org/library/Bible. Probably have to search it after that. And so it shows it here in the Hebrew and in the English. So you're probably familiar with this. With his wing, he will cover you. Under his wings, you will take refuge. You will not fear the fright of night, the arrow that flies by day. Now, all right, well, I'm not going to comment on this psalm. I've talked a lot about the Hebrew God, and I do leave open, though, things like this. The Bible, through the Vatican Edit, attributes every saying to Yahweh, and we cannot attribute every saying to Yahweh. So often we do not know who is speaking with these, but you can sometimes tell by the tenor of the speech who is speaking. For example, if they're calling on killing people and leaving nobody alive, that's probably Enlil, otherwise known as Yahweh. If it's talking about God speaking to Noah, build an ark, that's probably Enki. I don't know, I haven't heard through the Sitchin of studies that I've done of any God promising anybody, full and complete protection. And nor have we seen anybody enjoy full and complete protection. So anyway, I just offer that while we look at this psalm. Well, more than you wanted to know about the number 99. Talk to you guys soon. Be safe out there. Love you.